All right, welcome to part 3. And we're going to start working on the body here. And our first objective, is to create these little lines here. And actually, it's for some reason there's a break there, but we've got sort of 2 lines that we'll deal with, and then sort of work on the objective part. And really, once we get this in, I might just sort of give you a little bit of, guidance, and you should be able to do the rest there. So let's look at putting in some lines here. And so your lines are pretty straightforward, okay? You've got this here. So in your insert, keep doing this. There's lines, and all you have to do is basically draw it. And so again, don't worry about it being set in stone. We can modify it after. So I'm just going to go there. Whoops. Key thing is to hold it down. Try that again. So hold, and now it's hard to get it straight, so just hold shift. Okay, and there's your line. And then you can go in and you can change the color up. So I'm just going to go with sort of a gray, maybe a lighter gray, something like that. And you can change the thickness and so on if you want to. We don't shadows. The thickness is under weight there, right? So if you want to make it a bit thicker, I don't think it needs to be. I think sort of a thin, just a little bit of a separation is all you really need. And that actually might even be too strong. But regardless, is when you click on it, if I can get that back, oops, I got the wrong one selected, Control Z. So if you're having a little bit of trouble grappling with this like I am, there's a couple things you can do. So I was like I'm having trouble getting back on this, and I'm clicking madly. So you can actually come up here, and there's select, and there's selection pane. And I found this quite easy. It's almost like layers in Photoshop. It's actually, like I said, I keep getting surprised by how advanced Word is getting here. Straight connector 18, that's what it was. So I was just able to select that, and now I've got it. And in fact, these here, right, I mean, that hides it. Unfortunately, you can't freeze it, which would be a nice thing to do. And I should look into that and see if you can actually freeze it. But anyways, there it is there, right? And I've got it. So I'm going to go, and I wonder if I can just double click. No, I can't. That just gives it a name. Format there. I had done the colors already, so I'm just going to go back, and I'll just leave it like it is there. Now, if I want to duplicate that, so I'm going to Control C, Control V, and I duplicate it just so I can keep the formatting. If I hold Shift, maybe I can't do that. Let's just see here. No, it won't let me go straight up then. So maybe that's not the best way. So I'm just going to Control Z, get rid of that. Okay, so I'm just going to draw another line. And so insert a, line. And I'm just going to put that about here. And again, holding Shift will make it straight. And that's probably good enough. And again, I'm just going to take the outline and drop it down to that light gray. Okay, and so that gives us some sort of idea of what's going on here. What we're going to do is put in a little circle here too. So if you noticed from the original, it's a little hard to see, but there is a circle there. And so we'll just put that in. I wonder what all these sirens are going on outside my window here. All right, shape. So if I hold Shift down again, another little trick is it makes a perfect circle. So if I want to put that in there, and I definitely want to get rid of the outline, so I'll just say no outline. And I like that color, but maybe what I can do here is fade it out a little bit. So I do like the color. I think it goes well, but I'm just going to go into that no more or more fills color and maybe crank up the transparency a bit there, just so that it's sort of a bit faded. Yeah, that looks good. I mean, I could also just change the color too, but that sort of is a decent color. Okay, and again, all you're really going to do here is put in like text boxes and lay it out. So I don't want to spend too much of your time sort of going through this, because you can do it yourself. So if I insert, I'll just do this one, insert a text box, right? There's our text box. drag it down, locate it. Now this is sort of your work objectives here. So again, just delete it, objectives, and again, maybe playing with the size. Okay, and you might want to play with the color or whatever there, and you can just place it where you need to. Maybe pulling that back, pulling that around, and again, always make sure, because you can see that's cutting through. Always make sure that you can double click on it. Okay, you can change your drawing tools here to get rid of so no outline and no fill. Okay, and there it is there. And to put that stuff in here, I just put, another text box. So I'll just keep doing this here. And you can copy and paste those text boxes too. I keep redoing this. And then basically get a rough size that will fit. Okay, and you might want to do something like a centering here to make it sort of more fill in nicely. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can't edit those points. There might be even a better way. Feel free to always look things up. Shape fill, no fill. Shape outline, no outline. And again, my objective is to win the Academy Award for Best Actor in a Dramatic Role as Mr. B. There. And so something like that. Okay. And you could, like I said, you might want to play around a bit here. So does it look better with white? Probably not. Maybe something a little less than black, maybe something like that. And then maybe see how you could, if you centered it like that, and then just sort of pulled this out a little bit. Because if you center it, and then I might have to go for a little bit of a larger font. Okay, something like that. There you go, okay? And so I think what I'll do is just let you sort of do the rest here. And I'll just give you a few pointers, and I'll just sort of help you with the header, or sorry, the footer. Because really the skills, right, they've taken pictographs. These are all just computer skills. So you could put those in or find pictographs of your skills, whatever they are, your experience. So again, company name, job, and sort of try to format it like this. You could do it all with text boxes. Like I suggested, probably reducing the number of different colors would be good. Okay, your education, something like that as well. So just laying it out, okay? Yeah, so go ahead, try to recreate something like this, and just using text boxes and playing with the colors and the font sizes. I would try to keep things consistent, obviously, between this and this. Both of these should be consistent. This and this should be consistent. And I think all of these really probably should be consistent here. Whoops. Try not to make too much of a modification there. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to do any more video for that part. I'll come back and help you with this, but see what you can do here.